you.
All right, all right.
Okay. Just mute your speaker. Honorable Simon Opoka, I wonder whether you had a question from Dr. Mungadi. He asked a question that would you
I
give
listened carefully.
Okay, fine.
I listened
Okay,
to his
please. I
question.
would like to start from the fact that will you give way for an ambulance?
I first want to debunk something. I am a biologist. I'm a biologist. I was admitted to do medicine at Dar es Salaam, but I was the first scientist in the family. I didn't know what exchange program would mean like. I opted to do agriculture at Makerere on government scholarship. After my colleagues were abducted at Sir Samuel Beck on the 28th August 1996, I repeated senior 6 at Chambogo College. I was a security guard. I know what it means to be a human being. Being a doctor, being an agriculturist, and being a nobody is indivisible compared to anybody who is nobody. Let's center our issue on humanity. All Ugandans, does this country work for you? He asked a question. Of course, an ambulance has a right of way. The Governor Bank of Uganda has right of way. President Yoweri Museveni has right of way. According to the laws of Uganda, anything that has an ambulance or has a siren and a 99 in front of you has a right of way. Now, but what is right of way? It also includes those who have at least entered the middle of the road. Whoever is on the highway should give way. So it is not about an ambulance. It is about indivisible rights of individuals where each and everybody is equal before the law. That's what is here. And me, I still tell you, doctor, you asked what is our 15 minutes imagination. As a biologist, I'll tell you about ecology. The perception I have of Uganda's political landscape under President Yoweri Museveni is not different from the colonial times. It's not different from the only time it was a little bit different, which people don't want to look at it, is when Benedicto Chwanuka for 1 year held this country and gave us the first black constitution as a prime minister from chief minister. And the only handover that happened was end of April 1962 when Obote and KY took over. From that moment, we have a circus for a government. And I will tell you, the laws that govern Uganda are the laws of the jungle. What I see, I have the LC3 of Pade, the urban council, the mayor of Pade, in jail over a COVID-related issue. This is a man who was a serviceman. He was sacked from police. The Israeli took him as a contractor. He worked in Sudan, Iraq, everywhere. The only reason why did the man step up against police brutality? Because of his military background. The man is languishing in jail. We have drummed and drummed for support. Nobody wants to listen to us. 18 people who appealed, they were told, come in person. Even if Councillor Nyuru is your lawyer, the right to a lawyer was suspended by a whole high court judge. So this is not about Besigye. Besigye is just a symbol of the struggles that every Ugandan is having. My only problem with this of bestializing everything is the same as Musevenization of Uganda. And because of this, I still predict that the next leaders who are going to replace Museveni are going to be authoritarian, because all citizens are now looking for which lion in the jungle can defeat this lion instead of rule of law. I can tell you, must it take medical doctors to fight for a medical doctor? What happened when others are languishing during COVID, when medical doctors were considered, what was the term? Essential service providers. Did they care about others? Basic rights of individuals to have a meal. So I need Ugandans to stop going into their cocoons of thinking they are better than others. Besigye is a citizen. His individual indivisible rights are the ones we are talking about, but this must be reflected on that young person who is being tortured, cannot get a job, cannot even earn a living, and is being taxed through his nose as long as he breathes. So for me, this same system of Museveni, if Besigye gets to power the way I know it, it is going to be another authoritarian government. Why? We know Besigye one time told us that parliament doesn't mean anything if people are not rioting because it's in Lusira. Yes, he made the point. I know of how Besigye for so long did not follow the leadership of Muntu. I know, I was in TDA. Now that he is a victim today, Can we stand with him and bring all the other Ugandans who are suffering at the forefront? What does this mean to rights to water? Do you know in Uganda, water is taxed both service fee, connection fee, and also VAT. Honestly, as a doctor, do you know in Uganda how many diseases are preventable if people can access clean drinking water? But water is a privilege for those who have money, tap water. I'll tell you, there is no hospital in Uganda that offers free services. Everybody has services outside at a pay. Do you know people are losing land to keep alive? Can it happen? Now, for me, I'll tell you, doctor, that my imagination is Uganda is still going to get worse. As long as gunmen are our best options, as long as militarization is our best option, and civic space is clamped, and everybody tells you, you can articulate as a person, where will it take you? You need a gun. This is a wrong perception. I want to see peaceful acceptance of rule of law. I want to see civic awareness. I want to see indivisible rights of people respected. If not, Besigye has read the times. Besigye has reinvented himself. Besigye is presenting himself as a military leader without military means to give hope and bring about change. Me, I pray for him to continue. And I also tell President Museveni, like I did tell them, the Norbert Mouse and Betty Awolo Chance, I told them, as long as you speak good English, as long as you speak nicely, you still go to parliament. As long as the people think you are not as annoyed as they are, they will elect anybody who is militaristic. It is not by mistake that Bobby Wine is the leading figure in opposition. And the next radical person, if it is not Besigye, the most radical person will come and will go as an authoritarian. So my imagination, Uganda is going to continue getting worse. People are going to continue reading our minds and shaping themselves as rebel leaders, whether actual or imaginary. The more fierce you are, the more people lose blood because of you, the more Ugandans will elect you to be their other option. Is there hope? Yes. Kenya was like that during Moi. And indeed, when those in power had invested heavily in the economy, they had stolen the economy left, right, center, and dry. And IMF rained down on Moi. Moi had to convince his looters that with IMF embargoes and sanctions, your money abroad is not safe. That's how the middle class was created, by convincing all thieves to come back and they realign their politics. In Uganda, the richest, the biggest thieves have permanent structures in the city center, and they have grandchildren, Bazuku, that they now love. If their future of their grandchildren is at stake, they will wake up. I'm happy they have stolen. How do you call it? Sanctions are biting. Embargoes are coming on this country. They will wake up. But I pray that those who want another army to replace Obote, okay? Those, you know, Mutesa was a military man, a general. You know, Benedicto was a World War sergeant. You know, Obote 1, Obote 2 came back as a soldier. You know, Lule was one in the earliest government as a government official. So if this is the trend, like we see those who matter now are those who hold guns or militarize, and then Ugandans, I will tell you, any fool with a gun and can sacrifice a few people will be our next leaders. So my imagination is we are going down an abyss until you start engaging. Sorry about that noise in the background. Until we start engaging on national reconciliation, until you start engaging on defining who killed who in Luero, who killed people in Yumbe, who killed people in Acholi, the nodding diseases from where. We don't want speculation. Can we talk about what hurts us?
In 1 minute.
And as I look up, the hope of Uganda is in creating what we call a Nash equilibrium. The day beating Besigye will cost your business. The day imprisoning somebody's son or coming with the sirens on the road, displacing people and get you in charge of infrastructure will cost you your children's life. Is the day everybody will come and will talk. So we have not yet reached a Nash equilibrium where useless, irresponsible statements by CDF becomes what we call what? A cheap Twitter talk. No, these are public officials. Until it starts biting their businesses, until it starts affecting the lives of their children and their safety. Then we shall come to a round table. We are not yet there. The thieves and the murderers are still plundering and benefiting from this. I still pray in my imagination of 15 minutes that Uganda is going to be worse until you need the ghetto children to come and renegotiate the state. The future of Uganda is in a negotiated federal system. Short of that, we are wasting time. Everybody is just playing politics to pitch to be the best candidate in the next election. That is my imagination. I'll give way to ambulances as long as ambulances don't turn into people who are beating traffic and carrying charcoal. All this is debatable. Everything in Uganda today depends.
Okay.
So my brothers, Besigye has made a good case of himself. He has shown us if you're not militaristic and Museveni is not your arch rival, you can never be an option to Ugandans. Ugandans are going for a worse authoritarian regime. And that's why the Sun is speaking that way. I think Ugandans now want who is the biggest lion in the laws of the jungle to dictate. But until it hurts them personally, we are not yet there. We shall come to the round table to negotiate a Uganda that works for everybody. When it affects everybody's child, it affects everybody's future and everybody's money. For now, the poor are here to suffer. That's my take.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Let me give now a chance and the microphone to Caesar Lubankene. I wonder whether you are able to hear Caesar. Caesar, are you there? Okay, we shall skip Honorable Caesar Lubankene and Dr. Henry Labeja in 30 seconds. You had wanted to say something when Honorable Betty Aolo-Chan was speaking.
Thank you very much, and thank you, the precurrent speaker.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Say something. Caesar, just a minute. Somebody is already speaking. Maybe after him.
Okay, thank you very much. I raise up my hands to put a question to Honorable Betty Aolo-Chan because I was really so disappointed yesterday when I posted on my page about rising up and speaking out for Kizza Besigye. My people, my friends, the closest people to me said, why should you enter into a fight which is not yours? This thing is not for the Acholis. And I was really so disappointed. So she was talking that we shouldn't give hope. We should not now have hope in the elites in parliament because it has been compromised. What are the actual actions which we are supposed to take? I was in a space yesterday, people were now putting direct attacks or direct confrontation, not like to the militaries, but to the people who are involved. The member of parliament, they give their numbers. I guess she has also been seeing currently in the media, their numbers have been posted and is circulating that they should ask them, call them and ask them questions why they are not working on particular road. So that is the strategy which people have started doing. And then how would she as a leader in northern Uganda, in Acholi sub-region, make sure that northern Uganda and Acholi sub-region get involved in the activities to liberate this country, besides looking into parliament and into the elites? Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Mungadi, I think you have a reaction to Honorable Simon Opoka, but please just make it very brief.
Well, Simon, I think for me, I'm happy that we are now discussing this at this level. It's me, I think. I don't know whether I can say I have any capacity, but I saw Besigye's face twice. And from 3 weeks ago, I launched that campaign of do we practice medicine in Uganda anymore? And my issue was not Besigye, but my issue was the effect that face has on the community. When you see somebody with blank expression, as medics, what are you thinking about? And I woke up one morning and I wrote to the medics and told them, you people, do we still practice medicine in Uganda? I am not defending Besigye as an individual, but Besigye represents prisoners from Luzira. Segrinya has just died, you remember, he's from Luzira. So my interest is to have all medics rally behind not Besigye, but rally behind what is causing, because medicine is justice. We can fight, we can throw stones at each other here, but when you come to hospital, we'll save you. And when I asked, what do you give way to ambulances here? Simon, by the way, ambulance has right of the way. The rest are additions. Even Museveni should give way to an ambulance. And why do we save life? That goes back to all of us. It's very unfortunate because, Simon, I listen to you passionately. You are annoyed, and all of us need that anger. But when it comes to humanity, there is no negotiation. We have gone down the drain simply because we are so insensitive. And my last stroke is medicine. I'm asking medics. I asked medics as an individual, and they responded, and we have come to this level. Because none of you should fear us, and medicine should not be used to kill people. I practiced medicine in Luzira before I saw government take over medical profession. A cadre doctor this side has stopped Besigye from trial. Has said Besigye is sick. That is wrong. It can be me, it can be you, it can be any of us. So we need to stop this and listen to doctors. It's unfortunate that we're now seeing there's always a chance to start. So Simon, it can't be wrong for medics to demand now. I know so many people have been affected for a long time, but this is a chance to start. Thank you.
Maybe I apologize. Would you mind, moderator? I wanted to just give context a little bit why I think we should all take humanity first. I remember in 2010, just a moment for my medical friends. I remember in 2010 calling Megaolo Chan when my sister was murdered in Chisasi. I had just met her a day before. The following day, I'm in Gulu, and I'm called, come and pick your sister's dead body. And guess the people who did autopsy, chaired by the commissioner medical, are senior pathologist, and they declared natural cause of death. Scene of crime showed there was struggle, and up to today, nobody was tried. But who killed the cases? Medical doctors. So it is case by case. We have crooks among every sector of society. It is only when you're clean and you can come with a clean pair of hands shall we acquit you of every charge. But we cannot collectively acquit medical doctors. I know of tampered and doctored death reports where medical doctors use that money to pay their kids to school and live a better life. This is not selective prosecution. This is the truth. I have a sister whose case was killed because medical soup and all senior autopsists, pathologists cleared the case as natural cause of death of a 29-year-old in a man's house with the blood on the wall. And you know what? Dr. Njivwa, who is my uncle, because we married from their family, called me to do another case. And when we went back, the man told me, it's dead case, leave it, you'll fight another day. So that is to clarify that all professions in Uganda under this regime, like previously, are injured. So case by case, plead for yourself. Thank you.